Alright, guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of comics sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. And today we're going to be talking about Batman Full Moon. This is the DC Black Label book I've been really excited about reading because it's Batman versus werewolves. I fucking love werewolves. And it's not to say this isn't the first time Batman's fought werewolves. This actually was actually inspired by an issue from Neil Adams' run, issue 255, I believe. But there's a little more to it, and it makes me wonder if this was meant to cross over with something. And I'll get to that in a bit. But anyway, I don't know if it's a lot, I'll get to it in a minute. But yeah, this comic is also written by Rodney Barnes. Rodney Barnes is definitely becoming one of my favorite writers to read. I know I haven't read a lot of Philadelphia, it's just the political climate is so fucking toxic that, it's like every time I go to work up to read the next 2 volumes of Philadelphia, I'm just something happens in the news and I'm just just put that in the background for a bit. But this, I was like, Batman fighting werewolves? I can get behind that. Is there socio-political drama in here? Yeah. But it's Batman fighting werewolves. Also, you got this kick-ass glow-in-the-dark cover. And I did check it. It like they said glow-in-the-dark cover. I was like, but how glow-in-the-dark cover are you? And sure enough, the glow's a little weak, but it doesn't bullshit on you. It is a glow-in-the-dark cover. Anyway, so Batman Full Moon. It is a Black Label book, so it's an alternate universe title. And essentially what it is, the story is in its own universe. And in here, Batman is dating Zatanna, who is still dealing with Constantine, who was the former lover. And Batman doesn't believe magic. This Batman is just cold hard, what is real and magic ain't real. Even though I'm dating a sorceress. You see the oxymoron here. But basically what has happened is that Wayne Pharmaceuticals gets torn apart by an unknown person by the name of Christian Talbot. That last name sound familiar? And Talbot is a werewolf, and he is basically now tearing it ass through Gotham. And during a conflict where Batman got caught in the middle of himself, the werewolf, and Man-Bat, who plays a big role in here, Batman is infected with lycanthropy and now must contend with the werewolf inside of him. This comic is pretty awesome. I gotta be honest. And let's actually talk about this. That makes me think, there's a part of me that really thinks, was this going to cross over the Universal Monsters? Because, again, Talbot's a common name. Again, that's a reference. I don't know if that was a reference, but it really does feel like that is a reference to Larry Talbot, the original Wolfman. And also, you have this whole thing where Talbot was also bitten on the moors. And he met a Romani woman, an elderly Romani woman, who told him that he was cursed, and also mentioned that the pentagram is the sign of the werewolf and will indicate the werewolf's next victim. I don't know if the original idea for this was a Batman Wolfman crossover. I think that was there's a part of me that's either Barnes is being cheeky, or that was the original idea. Making it a Batman Wolfman crossover. But yeah. Also, what's interesting is that we don't get... you'd think with a werewolf book, you'd think we'd get Big B Wolf. But I already saw a Batman Big B crossover, and it was just mid at best. Anyway. So, this comic is also the artwork by Steven Subjic. Is really cool. It actually has a Simon Beasley kind of feel to it. I'm trying to find an image that won't get me in trouble, because I think the artwork here, the griminess of it really fits, and the darkness to it is really cool. Yeah. And I also because I'm a big fan of Man-Bat. Man-Bat plays Kirk Langstrom plays a really big role in here. Constantine does too. But yeah, I also find it that there's little things of this is set during a recession, and Bruce Wayne's kind of hurting economically, and they bring up a lot of points that again, we've seen it before of Batman should do more good with as Bruce Wayne than Batman, which is kind of a tired old story, but we've seen it enough. How's the werewolf action, you might ask? It's really fucking good. Also, these are my favorite kind of werewolves. These big, bulky, dog-headed monsters that are just coming to beat the ever-loving shit out of you. So I do appreciate that, like, these are the kind of werewolves I like. The fights are pretty awesome. The comic also goes in a few different directions that I don't want to spoil because this comic just came out in trade. Also, I do appreciate it when Black Label books get this size, because while I do like the Black Label books when they're oversized, they are kind of a bitch and a half to kind of put in my collection, in my drawer, in like my shelves, because they're so big and awkward. So I have to like physically turn the book on its side in another shelf. But yeah, I think it's very rare these days where I get like I wonder who decides what size. And don't get me wrong, some of the oversized really helps. Like the oversized edition of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. That's where I feel like, you know, getting the big size really helps. Same with Christian Ward's Batman Underworld book. That was also, I think, needed. But yeah, I do appreciate it when... but I wonder who decides who gets the oversized Black Label books and who doesn't. And maybe it's just by the artistry. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, this comic doesn't... like I said, does not follow any continuity. It's a solid story, and Rodney Barnes clearly loves writing werewolves, which, in this day and age, I will take any kind of good werewolf content I can get. So yeah, do I recommend Batman Full Moon? Hell yeah, absolutely. If you want to check out a story where Bruce is contending with his own anger and grief, and on top of that, you have this layer of supernatural energy to it that... And like, I do appreciate that this is this is an alternate universe, because in current continuity, Batman's just like, magic's real, whatever, I don't fucking care anymore. But it's also funny because like it also gives you something else of that, having Zatanna as his girlfriend, which is something they always teased. So it makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of interesting to see someone actually go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Anyway, so go check it out. Chris, thank you once again for the comic, and if you've read Batman Full Moon, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.